Hello, welcome back. It's another season done, which means that it is now time for our MVP voting. So I'm here with last season's MVP, Nathan. Hi, Nathan. And Nathan, couple questions for you as someone who has been MVP before. What do you kind of look for in an MVP when you're deciding one?
So I think there's two main types of MVPs, I guess you could say. The first type being like an overall like mechanically gifted player, that when you're like looking at a team and you're prepping to go against them, like you have to play a certain team comp or play in a certain way that marks them, or else they're just gonna, kill two or three every fight and take over the lobby. And so, being on a team with Mikey for like 3 seasons, that was the common strategy that other teams used against us. They used like so many resources to try to mark him because if they didn't, like he's gonna just kill everybody, right? Um, and then the second type of MVP that I see is, not necessarily super mechanically gifted, but they're like the plat to masters range players that instead of like killing a lot of people because of their mechanical skill, they're more so like very consistent players that don't make many mistakes and play um, above their SR. They provide like very good comms. They provide very like consistent heals and damage output, and they make like very little mistakes. So, player that comes to mind for me there is Riddle Dog. He was pretty much impossible to kill. I could always depend on him to heal me, and he's just overall a very positive guy, and he provided a bunch of very useful comms as well. So although Riddle Dog's not going to kill three every single fight, he's just going to be that consistent player, and that's what made him MVP in my opinion.
So, for you, who do you think, anybody in the league, who do you think deserves to be MVP this season?
So I think I gotta give it to Sidon. When prepping to go against the Hedgehogs, we narrowed it down to like, because I watched a few of his matches before, and we narrowed it down to like we have to like play full dive and we have to like kill Sidon because he's gonna have a mercy pocket. We need to force Paige off the mercy, and like we need to kill him off cooldown, or he's just gonna pick us off like one by one by one. And just the fact that he he's just so mechanically gifted that we had to play like that. Um, is in my opinion the reason for him being MVP. And then there's one match I've recently spectated. It was the Tardigrades versus the Hedgehogs, the semifinals, and it was Circuit Royale. He had to go against Fancy Sigma, Fedora Master on the Tor, Jack on the Alari, and HV on Hanzo, and that's four GM players on like their best heroes, and like he just put on like the grandest of grand performances I've ever seen. So he definitely popped off that map, and it's only and they only won that map because like he was able to just take over the entire lobby despite being against like four solid GM players like on their best heroes. So that's why I got to give it to Sidon.
All right, so I think with that, it's time for us to introduce all of the MVP nominees for this season.
What was the inspiration behind the Big Baller song?
So the lyrics really mean a lot to me. I think that there's so many tank players out there who think they're the best, and I think the whole point of the Big Baller song was to tell the other tank players that they're dog shit. And in the song, I think we say number one tank is coming for you. Most people assume that is Vind, but that's actually me. Vind is second best compared to me. We don't keep me on tank because if we did, we would win, and we want to keep a fair competition to everybody else.
Why is your name so excited?
Well, so on Overwatch, I used to be called just EJ585. That's been the name I've went with since I like created my Roblox account. But for Overwatch, I wanted a cleaner name, and I wanted just EJ. But I had to have 3 characters, so I went with EJ exclamation point instead.
I know you've recently rebranded your Overwatch name to have LOL in your name since you've been playing a lot of League of Legends, but I've heard from the wins that you've been playing a lot of CS too, so you're going to be rebranding your name to Sly CS in the future?
God damn it. No. No, just LOL. I think it's funny. So, Sly CS just doesn't ring a bell. So,
How many fedoras do you actually own?
Didn't you ask me this question back in season 5?
All right, Fedora Master, answer me this. How many fedoras do you actually own?
I have to go count them. I'll be right back.
what comes after 5? God damn it.
Most I can count to is 3.
23. 2 top hats. And that's pretty much. And 2 derby caps.
No.
The answer's 24.
Where do your numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, and OK come from?
So when I was 5, I made a Roblox account, right? And then it was Poke 123 OK because I liked Pokemon, so I put Poke in there. And then I don't think that was enough characters or something, so I just put some stuff, and that was 123 and then OK. And then I got hacked, so I added the 6. It's a 6 because that's half of my favorite number. Or wait, no, my favorite number is twice in that. My
Leave
favorite
the whole
number
thing
is
in the cut.
my favorite number is 3.
So out of Aurora Esports, who do you think you could take on in a fight, IRL or in-game?
IRL, that's a good question. I'd
Or
probably get
in-game.
my shit kicked in, but like, I don't know. Oh, that's a tough question. Maybe I could take on Zainu. And kind of orders him around and bosses him around, so I think Zane would just take a beating.
Are elk your favorite animal from the Cervidae or deer family?
I am a fan of the Cervidae family, but my name actually doesn't have anything to do with an animal. My favorite Cervidae is probably a moose because they're way bigger and like they look scary. I think elk are like they look pretty and they look kind of peaceful, but a moose is just kind of scary, so I like that.
So why Genji?
So I guess there's 2 parts to that answer. First is every time I've played a game, I will always pick the character that's like a little bit off the curve, so not really like your conventional character, melee weapons or like a bow or something like that, and it just feels very comfy with me having like a lot of martial arts experience. It feels and I guess the second thing is just I find it very enjoyable, just the play style itself. I have a very flicky and fast play style, just naturally.
Do you believe K's are cooler than C's?
Yes, I think K's are very cooler than C's. As you can see in my name, I did a K for optical instead of a C. Therefore, I think it's cooler.
Who do you want to beat up the most after coming back from your break?
Probably Mooney. I think his team beat mine at the start of the season, so it's kind of a disaster. But hopefully next season I'm gonna smash him into a pulp.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Who, in your opinion, is the biggest feeder on Blight?
Vindy, man.
Okay, bit's over.
Why do you say NS so much?
I like to try to be polite. If I am or not is up for people to decide. And one of these days I'm going to win the PMA award, so watch out.
Do you enjoy jump scaring your teammates on Sombra?
I do indeed. If my goal is the element of surprise, I must be an equal opportunist surpriser. I have to startle everyone.
Alright, Mr. Tanic B, what would you say your favorite type of bee is?
Kind of basic, but it's the Western honeybee for pretty obvious reasons. It produces honey, which is really neat. And an interesting fact I learned is that, hold on, how do I write that down? Oh yeah, it's originally from Europe, where it was domesticated by indigenous people. Hold on. Yeah, it was domesticated early in 2600 BC. Like, pretty fucking old, so that's cool. Wait, am I allowed to swear?
Okay, hold on. I gotta do the prep, mental prep work.
All this is going to be included, by the way.
I'm actually just doing McDonald's Monopoly, but like, okay, I've done it now. Okay, we're good.